My name is Rhapsody and welcome back to Mod Train 2. We're here in the Dimensional Portal to do Big Worm. Fill your train with a menagerie empowered by Bogworm's heart. However, spells are more difficult to utilize. So we've got the Underlegion lead with Lazarus follow. We've got Bogworm's growth, permanently add a capacity to a random floor after each battle. Also Mansion, 2 additional capacity on each floor. However, Bleeding Cash, lose 1 coin whenever a friendly unit takes damage, and Arduous Arcana, spells cost 1 additional Ember. Ugh. So we get a whole lot of size, and our goal is to make something happen with it. Oh, I really don't like that card border. I turned it on because I thought it'd be like a fun little change, but oh no, I really don't like how that looks. I'll have to unlock a different one. Wait, did that not take? Okay, maybe it's just because they're currently on screen. 2 copies of Infectory, yeah. 2 copies of Infectory, spawn 1 when a unit without troop dies. That's gonna be very useful. 2 copies of Explosive Reaction, apply Unstable 25 and deal 5 damage, and then Moral Mistress. 1 Ember 2 size on Etch. Again, that is when a card is consumed. Apply Decay 8 to enemy units. Seraph Eternus chosen, of course it's the Seraph. It's always savagery. It's never not savagery unless it is. Let's see what we're gonna do with Bolete first, probably, rather than going to the artifacts. Cool. With additional size on the floor, being able to slay propagating for the entire floor certainly seems really relevant. Same with harvests, but I'll lead with headsman first, I think. Oh. Well, that's interesting. Does the Arduous Arcana modifier happen before or after Volatile Gauge? I mean, hell, there's only one way to find out. Are my spells unplayable now? Right, so I want as few units of ours to take damage as possible. It's a bit difficult to do that. I'll put Bolete on the top line. I don't really want to summon any additional minions if I can avoid it. I'm looking for Infectory and Explosive Reaction to do most of my work. Throw Moral Mistress on the top line as well. Okay, a 0-cost spell. We've gotten a 0-cost spell, which tells me that the cost is randomized after being made more expensive. Cool. That's going to be very helpful. Drop an Infectory and Spear Steward on the top line, I think. Oh, the infusions are 1 cost. Ugh. Of course it is. Explosive Reaction to get that money. Then we'll Eager Conscript the top line a couple of times. More rage. And damage shields. And damage shield. Cool. If I've done this right. 9, 24. Yeah, if I've done this right, Bolete will get both of these slays on the top line. And double propagate both the troop stack as well as damage shield and rage. Which should make it pretty impossible to lose. Getting ready to set up some big sap on the boss to reduce the amount of instances of damage it does. Certainly seems useful to me. Melee weakness will count. Right, I can't reduce the amount of instances of damage it does, unfortunately, here. Probably ended up losing 15 over the course of that run. 15? 5. I mean, another Infectory. I've already got 2 copies of the base deck. I don't really want to get another one. Inhale, deal 10 damage on Slay Spawn 2. Not bad. Advance a unit and propagate it as well. Realistically, advancing a unit and propagating is pretty important here, actually, also. Uh-huh. Overworked Assistant, if I would be able to consistently play it, would be a really good unit to get propagated because it propagates its reanimate. Also, its instability only triggers after battle. Sanguine Assistant's nice as well. Gives lifesteal and some additional damage to the top line. That lifesteal can then get propagated too. I'll take Overworked Assistant first. Under Legion, Merchant of Arms, Pyre. I don't really... Upgrading our spells isn't especially good. Like, I can reduce the cost of them, and they might respect the cost reduction, despite the fact that they don't respect the cost increase, because they respect cost reduction by default, and that happens after the Volatile Gauge randomization. But I don't know if also having a cost increase would somehow mess with that. Realistically, it'd be just changing the explosive reactions. Under Legion. I will say, Under Legion units are certainly the units that I really care about propagating with. So hitting like a Merchant of Steel, hitting both of them, going for like just upgrading minions as heavily as I can, does sound very powerful. Reanimate and Dualism. Compelling. Amorous Inoki on Rally applies regen 1 and 1 additional health to friendly units. If we do it appropriately, we can have the top floor basically manage all of their own health with regen. The thing is, the backline's not regularly going to be hit, right? So propagating that regen doesn't really matter that much. And we're not really rallying on that top floor a huge amount either. I'll take Amorous Inoki, but that's not thrilling. What is thrilling, however, is an Overworked Assistant that starts with Reanimate 2 and Dualism and gains Unstable 8 every time you incant, and then give it 2 more. Why not? Plus 14 damage. May as well put that on the Amorous Inoki. Start a battle, enemies appear on each floor. That's completely fine. We'll just set up on the top line. Oh, nice Bulkworm. Actually, the more I think about it, the more I think that Boleet needs to be the lead of that line. I'd love to have a quick attacker so I wouldn't have to worry so much about the losing money. Because that'll get pretty brutal after a while. Infectory hits top line. That's going to be so useful. I could summon a single conscript up there, but rather than that, I'll stop some of the incoming damage. Oh, that top line. I'm going to drop an Overworked Assistant and then a single conscript on the bottom line and just watch as it eviscerates these enemies. That top line propagation. Oh, it's so much. Because every propagate also then causes a rally on the top line, which then causes a regen as well as additional health for the entire line too. Pretty useful. I like the idea of using explosive reaction just to increase the instability of this unit on the bottom line, and I'll do it for that reason. It's fun. Again, trying to shape up to sap the boss. I'd need 2 additional sap to it next turn. It's unlikely to happen. Oh, it could. Oh. Hell yeah. We actually got there. Saved ourselves from getting hit once there. Truffles is sick here. Ability fetch, give me equipment. Equipment is incredible. It reduces the cost of the equipment as well. I will note, dig deep and proliferate are also really good. Truffles could just generate a high cost and then I can't use it, but also, when am I using minions if not now, right? Twist Assistant, you give trample to a minion, but the fact of the matter is that Bolide already has trample, and that's the one that super cares about it right now. I could get a second overworked assistant, but realistically, the first one is the powerful one. I need to have a multiple line strategy, so I think I'm going to have to start adapting a second line as well, and maybe that line cares about the Twisted Assisted. Tight Knight and Quick, hello. Alright, let's get a good unit for Quick. I suppose I take Spore Launcher. Quick's not a good upgrade for any of these, unfortunately. Tight Knight's not half bad. Throw that on Spore Launcher, plus 14. Throw that on Amorous and Noki yet again. Quick. I'm gonna give Quick to Twisted Assistant, and then regen 10. I feel like I either give this to the Spore Launcher or I give it to no one, so I'm gonna give it to no one. I see. Titan Skin 5 for a unit. Unfortunately, we also get Savage Shackles. That Savage Shackles could prevent us from playing anything in the opening hand. Rage 5, Revenge, permanently gain Rage 1, not half bad either. Turns pretty much anyone into a very aggressive unit when used appropriately. Spore Launcher, Bully, Amorous and Noki. Realistically, Moral Mistress does not need to go on that same line. I'm going to take Titan Skin 5. I'm going to pop that on Spore Launcher. The idea here is that the Spore Launcher might be capable of... I mean, any instance less than 10 damage can't do damage to the Spore Launcher. So if I use the Spore Launcher as my defender exclusively, I can avoid a lot of the negative money. I can avoid losing money. Looks like Bogworms is best hit the bottom line, so I'll just... not going to fight upstream on that. The rally it's important to have early here is going to be Amorous and Noki. So we're going to start rallying on bottom line pretty soon. I'm going to drop a Overworked Assistant here. It's exactly enough to give additional support to the Fallen Champion. So now we do 33 damage to you, and then the 30 damage from Bolide is exactly enough to kill all of the remaining units on the floor. We'll drop down an Infectory as well. Wait a second. Oi, oi, oi. Bleeding Cash. Lose 1 gold whenever a friendly unit takes damage. Small Launcher took 0 damage from enemies, I guess from Archeon that round, but I lost gold for each of them. This does not trigger on when it takes damage. This triggers on when it is hit. There is a difference. You can be hit without taking damage, which is what we just shown. I'm doing this a lot in recent episodes, but like, the terminology in this game is incredibly important, incredibly specific, and also some of them are just intuitively wrong. Bleeding Cash modifier triggers on hits, not on damage. I don't want it to seem like I'm overly sour about that kind of thing. I understand that if you're making a game with like any like reasonable depth and complexity, and especially if you're also trying to make things play both player-friendly and intuitively, things like this will arise. However, over the course of like the last 5 episodes, a lot of the time, I've had to test things that I was otherwise pretty sure would work and found out that they wouldn't. Despite a lot of the time intuitively, it's seeming like they definitely should. Especially when you compare them to consistency with other mechanics. Anyhow, back on track. Let's glow you up. Yeah, Truffle's becoming very expensive. It's obviously a tough time for us. Not what we want to see. We've got 7 reanimate on the Overworked Assistant, so it's ready to explode for 32 damage at the next 7 turns. Did Infectory have 4 cost? No, it had 3. Oh, units in hand from Savage Shackles. Right, that makes sense. Just a short following draws. I'll play those out. This bottom line kill line's doing really well. If I can find a way to give some additional propagatable buffs to the bottom line, oh, it'll go quite well. Steward and Truffles, give me a piece of equipment. It is Mind Cage. Truffles? Would you like to wear the Mind Cage? It's a lot better than you, on you rather, than on many targets. May as well just sack a troop on that line because I can. Hello! Welcome! Well... Give me equipment. Oh, it's a wind blade. What the hell do I do with a wind blade? Oh, that's fun. Tome of Horrors, apply unstable 50 and reanimate 1. It's exactly the kind of card we want if we're using the Overworked Assistant. Brain Transfer, 3 Ember, Sacrifice, Transfer damage and all buff and debuff effects to the front friendly unit. It's not especially good for us. Tomo Horrors? Hulking Mass is like okay, it's setting up a second line. It's just a big block of meat. The Volatile Gauge is both of our draw relics. The Heaven's Light is already given to us by Mansion Bogworm. It's Hell's Flame, and it's probably Hell's Flame twice, if I have to be honest. And don't you dare make me be honest. Forgotten Boons, Armory, Merchant of Magic over on the left-hand side. Given that I can only get 1 from the Merchant of Trinkets, it's significantly less relevant to us. Oh, nice. Remove Consume from Tome of Horrors. -2 cost and give Consume to the Tome of Horrors that can't gain Consume. Reanimation Lab. Friendly units gain 7/7 on summon and reanimate. Spawn is a summon trigger. Does that give 7/7 to the shroom stack every time a shroom is added to the stack? Bloodthirsty Blade is obviously like pretty good here, given that it's a Slay trigger. Ball Leader's already really happy to see Slay triggers. This can get multiple different Slay triggers in the same round, growing a lot larger. But the Reanimation Lab, I love the idea of being able to use that here. It would obviously cause the Overworked Assistant to start growing quite large as well. That said, unfortunately, we would have to give up putting down a Infectory on the bottom line, and Infectory's pretty good. It's a lot of troops for us, which is a lot of rally triggers. I don't think Reanimation Lab goes on the same floor. Does it go on a different floor then? No, Overworked Assistant wants to be on the same floor as Boleat for the Slay trigger propagation. Alright, I'll take Bloodthirsty Blade. Friendly units propagate twice. Sounds good to me. Yeah. Let's hit a Merchant of Arms, and I'll hit that with money as well. Higher dampener for a -1 energy. I might have actually struggled to take this in a world where I didn't already take the Hell's Flame. Granted, it's also going to be annoying. Amarasanoki. Spore Launcher. Spore Launcher. And there comes the Overworked Assistant to help out that bottom line. Get him with the big slays. Oh, it's over for us. I'm gonna drop that in the Bloodthirsty Blade this turn. That's exactly what we need to do. Infectory's incredible on the bottom line. Truffles needs to be defended. Meat Shield, you say? On Small Launcher, I say. 68 from the first two, plus 67. 68 plus 67 is 115? no, 135? Okay, yeah, so Bolide is getting all of the slays, which is all I really needed to check. Propagation. Twisted Assistance. Step up there. I mean, the same thing is going to happen on the bottom line we asked about before, so... just let the good times roll. Time of Horus again, because it doesn't exhaust. Oh. How horrifying. We'll even get another equipment next turn. So Dragon Staff. I'm not going to incant on the bottom line because I know what's good for me, and Kel the Corruptor is going to be corrupting all of my units if I say so. So... no, thank you. So the Unstable Explosion triggers for 170 damage at the end of every round. It's doing pretty well. I already draw a lot of cards, but I could see room for Mulch. Draws 3 additional cards next turn, gets us up to drawing a total of 10 cards on that turn, which is pretty relevant. Organ Harvester. On the Slay, gain Reanimate 1. It's really nice, but like, who's really going to be slaying with that piece of equipment at the moment? Realistically, if I had it attached to the Bloodthirsty Blade and then put it on Bolite, Bolite just gains and propagates a bunch of Reanimate to the degree that they can never get past Bolite's line. Or rather, the boss can never get past Bolite's line. The boss can never kill Bolite. To be fair, that also seems like it's already the case. Weaponized Prosthetic, remove equipment from a unit, apply 30 additional damage. If I had a lot more equipment. I'll take Organ Harvester, because if I do strap it to another weapon, it doesn't change its cost. Spell Sanctum. Spells cost -1. That's a very expensive room that I could absolutely afford. Do I wanna? I think that's a much better question. No, it's not often gonna have the opportunity, but there is a world where I could give the Organ Harvester, slap that attached to the Glass Cannon, just to give a bunch of additional damage to the overworked assistant, who is happy with being fragile. In fact, they're happy to die. I do think Infectory on the bottom line is currently pretty important. It's a lot of spawns each turn, and I have one rally trigger on Spore Launcher, one rally trigger on Amorous and Noki. I have Volatile Gauge, so looking at these and deciding that neither of them is useful is not good. Don't do that. Currently planning on doing that. You show me something better. Electricity Chamber. Friendly units gain spikes 8 on Summon and Reanimate. That's It's pretty good for giving Hulking Mass the ability to slay enemies. Granted, I don't really want to... I don't want to challenge slays. Another piece of Bloodthirsty Blade. Alright, no. I'm going to be making... Insect Blade is what I was going to call it. Bloodthirsty Blade, not Infectory. I'm going to join that with the other piece of equipment and just let them both roll. These secret ingredients are some of the worst cards in the deck, so happily removing 2 of them. Split Anvil, hello. When you play a spell, spells in hand that cost less are reduced to 0 cost for the rest of the turn. That's good. Remove another 2 secret ingredients from the deck. I mean, you know, it could be Spear Stewards, but at least I can throw them up on the top line. They have somewhere they can go. Right, no boss in any wave, gains reanimate. That's completely fine. It's just more slay triggers for me. Summoning rather, Amorous Inoki for the bottom line isn't necessarily immediately important. Having the merged equipment available is. So I'll put Hulking Mass on the second line instead. Oh, well. Overworked Assistant. I'm gonna drop a big old explosive reaction on you, and then that's gonna 0 cost a bunch of our stuff. Summoning the Amorous Inoki to the bottom line is no longer possible. Well, hang on. If you just keep killing my minions on that bottom line, maybe. Actually, I'm probably better served just throwing... I'm getting both of those units down this turn anyway. Yeah. Oh, you're pretty expensive, Amorous Inoki. Shuffles for that second line. Twisted back as well. Unless I want to put Infectory on the bottom line. Yeah. Long overdue, in fact. That'll have to do. Lovely to have a brief respite here. I mean, with 11 reanimate on our own overworked assistant, we can just hit you with our own spells. Tome of Horrors. So good. No incant triggers on the enemies here, so I can let that rip. Get him! Good slay triggers. Good slay. Do I need a second truffles? I think not. A dig deep that spawns 3, that is ready to spawn 4 very soon. It's pretty good. Buffer Flesh grants spiky skin to units. Unfortunately, I really do want the slays to be accessed by Bolete. Acid Shower applies on table 10 and deal 1 damage to enemy units. Surgical Strike. I'll be skipping these for money. Left-hand side with the ability to both remove 2 cards from the deck as well as gain a couple of trinkets, I think is incredibly important to us. Our units do care about upgrades, but, like, minimally. Hulking wants Dualism and Reanimate, I guess, ideally, but, like, even then, that's not a unit I really use. Draw an additional card, put 25 cards in your deck. I would love to draw an 8th card a turn. Start a turn, fully healed champions, might as well, rather than let Bolete lose HP. First spell played each turn costs -1 for every 15 cards in your deck. Incredible. Let's get Secret Ingredient out of the deck. We'll cut a Spear Steward. Coming back for the other stewards later. This one's probably going to be Merchant of Steel on the left-hand side after Kale. Hell yeah. Amorous Inoki rolled a low cost, so I can afford to summon... Wait, hang on. Actually, yeah, I do want my Bolete further back. Huh. Yeah, that'll do a lot better. Ooh, I even have the ability to put down the Overworked Assistant and Infectory here on the first turn. Wait, was that Overworked Assistant? Was it? Yeah, it was 1 cost because after the draw. But I'm not going to play any other minions, so I can just do that. Okay, long term it won't make a difference, even though I am playing another minion, because it would have cost me 2 Ember to play this, 2 Ember to bypass it as well. Oh no. They're all showing 0 cost, but they aren't. So due to Ancient Roots, they're showing me that they're 0 cost, but it's not showing me what the other one costs. Like this one costs 1. This one also costs 1. Great, so it doesn't matter. Of course it could have, because one of them could have cost 0, actually. So much rally. Hang on, I play my most expensive spell first, which looks like it is this conscript. Yeah, because this one's already 0 cost, so I don't need... and so is Glow Up. It's really important I keep a stack of fungi alive before the end, so that when I slay, I'm also propagating the troop stacks. This one's actually still going to be expensive. Then I play Mulch, 0 costing the rest of these. Great.
Okay.
Get him, Truffles! Ooh, Swift Steel. I can't replace your equipment, bully. Give him a wee glow up. Hit the boss with the instability just so that the rest of my spells are 0 costed. I've lost a lot of slay triggers by making unit quick that didn't need to be quick. Alas, it'll happen. I want to play the extremely expensive glow up. Cool, it manages to 0 cost everything else. Come down here, Kale. I'm ready to murder you. The frustrating thing is that one of the most important things for me to do right now is absolutely buy relics. Little hard to do that with the money I don't have, on account of all the damage the enemies keep doing to me. How dare they? Don't they know I have soft, sensitive skin? Alright, get him! Long day to suit. Yeah, absolutely. I wonder if the armor will prevent us from triggering the takes damage. I know enemies taking damage still counts against their armor. What is the text of Fragile? Glass. Loses health. Okay, yeah, loses health, takes damage. Different terms being used there. Great. Hell's Flame. Remember when I said at the top? It's gonna be Hell Flame. Quick, eh? Not really relevant to any of them. Why did I come here? Really use Propagate Ball, why not? Ah. Celestial Alcove. Advanced. Restore health. Restore to full health and gain armor equal to the amount healed. Cool. Benevolence ability. Restore friendly units to full health. Cool. Wrath. Attack immediately. Much more impactful, but Bolly wouldn't be able to wear it. I mean, this is so extremely unnecessary. God. Who? Yeah. I'm gonna put it on someone because someone should have it, but no one needs it at all. I don't want you thinking anyone needs any of these. Let's get the ability to send a worked assistant to the front of the line, because if I do that, then the enemies can just bump into overworked assistant until they die. This is really difficult because there's almost no upgrades that are relevant to me here. If I reroll, I think I do see the reanimate at least, which is nice. So I can just throw that. There it is. Oh, reanimate and dualism. The things that I said that I would put on the hulking mass if I could. All right, it's time to put up or shut up. God, I wish I was shutting up. Hate having to put up. And an impressed stone spawned on each floor. I think a better question is, will those floors be relevant to the fight? To which the answer is no. Don't eat! And Rosanoki's gonna have to go down first. Eager conscripts, 0 costs the rest of our hand, except the factories, unfortunately. I really do want the fungi to die by the end of this round, but unfortunately the fungi in a suit will keep them alive. Then what, I just have to send a Devoured Gladiator up lines? How dare you? If I let 2 enemy units on this floor die this turn, at least I'll get more decay on you. Oh, I do have enough room for the overworked assistant. Oh, yeah. If I play Savage Shackles at the start of this turn, do I get to play out the Hulking Mass as well? Yeah. Eager Conscripts, Mulch. And then let's get the Hulking Mass down on the second line. If the worst I do here is leak a, what? It's going to be like 150 health by the time it gets to the top line unit. That's all I do? Incredible. Alright. Oh, I mean, look, if I had those, I'll get the money from the next floor with the collector, rather. So I really don't think the amount I spent on the Eager Conscript previously was good. No need to do that. Hey, but here... There and then I might as well. Unfortunately, both Truffles and the Twisted Assistant here die. Oh. Everlasting Light. On strike, apply Valor 2 to friendly units. I want to do that before Bolit, so that I can start propagating Valor. Just enough to get the Terrifying Amalgam down. Perfect. Bottom line already takes care. That actually ends up lowering the... Oh, because I prevent a Slay trigger from occurring. Lowers the health growth of that line. Did it again, but I also summoned a bunch of additional units. Come on then, boss. Oh, wow. Overworld's Assistant actually dies. Oh, you run out of reanimate. I stopped propagating it on you. When did that happen? There you go. You go to the front of the line. Oh, no more slays for our bloodthirsty blade. Pandemic, Mushroom Cloud, and Truffles. Mushroom Cloud would be fine, but unnecessary. Truffles, Pandemic. We're going up against Seraph of Savagery. Oh, second Tome Forest, why not? Merchant Bombs, Empyrean Well. Do I have a card I super care about duping? Tome of Horrors a little bit, but that's about it. Which means what I care about much more is energy. +1 energy per turn, but 3 less deployment Ember hurts. Higher Stone Housing units get an additional upgrade slot. That's great. I'm literally directly next to the Merchant of Steel. Give a unit quick. Give a unit endless. Give a unit plus damage. Look, I'm gonna give quick to the Amorous and Noki despite the fact that it's irrelevant. Spore Launcher, let's give you some additional HP. Yeah, even if I can mini-stone you, it wouldn't be especially relevant. Speaking of, there's the mini-stone. Titanite, half incoming damage, clear the marks. It's fine. That floor becomes very well defended. The only thing is it doesn't do anything either. It's a very well defended, irrelevant floor. I suspect I care more about removals from energy at that point. Pretty piercing damage whenever an enemy unit moves between floors. That will kill Rage Wings. The only thing is my instability, and I have many different ways of killing Rage Wings right now. Odie's Totem for an additional energy per turn is kind of nice. Only problem is it could completely screw me on the setup, so I can't take it. Artificial Firestone. If I knew Artificial Firestone was coming on the reroll, I would have taken Odie's Totem. Couldn't have known that though. Verdant Cycle, first time a spell card with Consumer's Blade, draw 1, great. And Twisted Mycelium, on turn to start, spawn 1 on each floor per 20 cards in your deck. Merchant of Steel has 2 more upgrades I can just throw on minions. May as well give Hulking that, and may as well give plus 14 damage. Alright, Eternus. I suspect my Amorous Inoki bottom line is going to be capable of defending us fully against this. Amorous Inoki, Spore Launcher, Bolete the Guillotine. Drop a Hulking Mass on the next line, Spear Steward top, merged equipment for Bolete. Yep. Just enough to save the Amorous Inoki. We managed to trigger just enough. Amorous Inoki survived on 2 health there. But thankfully now it's lost its melee weakness. It's really important for it to manage. Frustratingly, the Overworked Assistant rolled its highest cost, and so did the Savage Shackles. And the Savage Shackles is increasing the cost of the Overworked Assistant. Like, if I'm playing anything by itself right now, it's Overworked Assistant, the backline on the top. And then I think I have to drop a... Oh, I can't even use Unstable Reaction appropriately here. Oh, it's really annoying. 4 Reanimate on our backline will be okay, but it is really annoying. The Titan skin given to the Rage Wing was preventing it from dying in real speed there. Double Tome of Horrors. Incredible to see you. I'm going to start with Eager Conscript and then drop Mushroom Cloud, clearing out our energy costs. I can play Savage Shackles, giving me the ability to develop Truffles and summon Steel Dagger. I don't feel like quick is what I need, but I'll take it. I'll drop an Unstable Reaction to my own minion. Nice. So you explode for 118 damage to all enemies at the end of the turn. Bolete is not slaying at the moment. That's tough. I really need him to kill someone so I can keep my Reanimate. But 400 health units in the front line are healthy. Please, Bolete, slay someone. Thankfully, these Tome of Horrors are coming back, so I'm still capable of keeping them. Eager Conscript turns all of the other cards in my hand to 0 costs. Bolly was never going to be responsible for the slay of the backline target there. 18 health off of getting the slay on the frontline target. I mean, if I just draw the tome every turn, I can get reanimate that way at least. Suppose Moral Mistress on this line makes sense. Oh, Hef's Hammer. On Slay, gain a capacity on this floor. Hell yeah. Hey! Slay number 1! That's all I needed! Woo! It's reanimating time! Cushy, 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 woo. We animate when we work together, it's much better. And this one is gonna take us across the line, I imagine. Now, Overworks Assistant, go to the front of the line. It's time for you to die 11 times and explode, doing 678 damage to all enemies every time you die. Thanks, bud. Much appreciated. I wish this unit was as good as I want it to be. Look at its big stupid face. I love him. This guy, however, despite being extremely overworked, was extremely courageous in the face of these enemies and ultimately was entirely why this run succeeded, obviously in concert with Tome of Horrors. And we'll just let that resolve on the bottom line, I think. I think. Okay, how do I phrase this? Because Roots, Under Legion. Churning Soil, Under Legion. Verdant Cycle, Under Legion. Twisting Mycelium, Under Legion. I think Under Legion might have the strongest clan relics out of all of the clans. Because so many of them are just complete replacements for boss relics. So, like, yeah, you know, Hellhaunt artifacts. You've got summon triggers at initial time. Obviously, turns runs ridiculous. Friendly units gain 3 damage on Slay. Not permanent, but it's pretty good. Collection Tales, depends on the run. Gurg's Goad, pretty good in general. Imsicle, depends on the run, but pretty good in general. Queen's Tale, again, it's fine if you're an imp deck, kind of thing. Railhammer can be busted as hell because there's a lot of things like that give, you know, like the Guardian Stone from Stygian gives 1 armor to all units on Incant. This gives 4 additional stacks to each stack of armor. So good. Unbroken Horn, you know, like a lot of them are pretty good. Under Legion. This one, straight up an energy relic. This one, it gives buff stacks to the clan that abuses buff stacks. This one, Draw Relic. This one gives buff stacks to the clan that abuses buff stacks. This one gives debuff stacks on the clan that abuses debuff stacks. This one gives buff stacks on the clan that... You see what I mean? Bunkai gets 2 additional. Twin Mines, probably bar none, one of the strongest artifacts in the entire game. Twisting Mycelium gives you defensive blockers. Very, very useful in that. Verdant Cycle is Draw. World-Ending Strain, you know, situational. So they have like 2 situational relics maximum. The rest of them are just straight heat. Like Melting Remnant has a couple of absolute bangers and then also has ones that just either don't work as they currently describe that they work or aren't good. Stygian, good lord, Stygian, Totem Fragment. I'm not saying there's no situation where Totem Fragment is good, but you're seldom happy to see it. Token of a Trader, it depends on the run. Titan's Claw, sometimes irrelevant, a lot of the time irrelevant. Tether Scale, a lot of the time it's irrelevant. Sigiled Seaweed, pretty good. Rules of Containment, depends. Can't remember what that one is. I feel like that one's related to Magic Power. Icicle Fragment, pretty good actually. Incantrix is an additional time busted to sell, but everyone has pretty much one, like, ridiculously busted one. Emblem of Exiles. Yeah, no, I stand by this. I think the vast majority of Under Legion's artifacts are incredibly high quality, and I think a lot of the other ones for other clans are much more situational. Under Legion, I've got to start thinking about this through the lens of, if I'm playing Under Legion, more than average, the artifacts are important to me. And that's the Big Worm Challenge. We now only have 3 more dimensional challenges remaining to complete. Okay, I think I've exhausted the Under Legion events, because we had the Under Legion lead there, and unfortunately didn't get anything from it. However, I will very quickly go to the Dimensional Portal to look at our final challenge, which was just revealed, Vampiric Curse. Can your units win before your vampiric army withers into dust? You must purge 2 cards after every battle! Well, I'm gonna love this challenge. Permadeath, when a non-champion unit dies, it's purged from your deck, and you must yeet 2 cards after every battle. Yes. Yes, please. Allowing me to fully control my deck? I'm probably going to have 4 cards in this deck. We're doing it full thin deck style. Of course, that's going to have to be in a later episode. Until then, my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Monster Train 2. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves. Top left is a series playlist for all of the content of the game, past, present, and future. YouTube recommendations down below. Streaming past the names of the people so generously supporting the Republic on patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays. And above the thank you and a special thanks this episode to Sorathil. Hopefully you'll have been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you all next time.